and welcome back to TUBEity. I'm Cindy Burnett.
Yes, she is. And I'm Barney Saltzberg.
So today we're going to be talking about blocks and barriers. What are some of the phrases that you have in your head when you try to create something new? So Barney, what are some of the things that come to mind when you think about blocks and barriers? What are some phrases that come to mind for you?
Well, these are phrases that do block and create barriers. So I'm not good enough. This idea is terrible. Then there are voices that I've heard in the past. You're not good enough. Or there are people who are better than you at this. Why are you even bothering? Those kinds of phrases mostly, not words necessarily. And
Great.
you have a couple in your head, I'm sure?
Oh, I have plenty in my head. I'm not creative enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have time for that. I'm too old for that. I'm too young for that. Age has always been an issue for me because I've always spent time with people who are older than me. So I've always felt young, but now that I'm not young and I'm sort of middle-aged, now I feel like I'm too old for things. So it's bizarre. So sort of breaking the barrier of age is—
That's an interesting thing. As someone who's a lot older than you, I can tell you that it's actually an amazing time as far as creativity. Having spent a creative life, you stop, well, I don't know if I stop hearing those voices, but you don't care anymore and you just do it anyway. At least that's me. I do know people who feel like they are too old for that. So it just sort of depends on the way you frame it.
Right. So today we're going to do a little activity, and Barney, I asked you to bring a balloon. Do you have a balloon with you?
I do have a resurrected balloon from my birthday.
Oh, yes. Excellent. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to blow up our balloons, but not tie them. Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Okay.
Okay. And Barney, do you have your Sharpie marker?
I do.
Okay. So what you're going to do now is on the balloon, you're going to write some phrases that have stopped you from being creative in whatever capacity. So
Okay, we got them.
okay, so Barney, do you have your key phrases of things that have stopped you from being creative?
I have some of them. I'm sure there's more, but these are the ones that came to me now. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what we're going to do is on the count of 3, we're going to release the balloon, okay, in this activity called Bye Bye Blocks.
Yes.
Bye Bye Blocks.
Bye-bye.
Are you ready to say bye-bye to your block?
I am.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Mine stuck around too long. Go away. I feel so much lighter.
Do you really?
Oh, sure.
I feel lighter. I think it releases a level of humor, and especially mine, which flew up in the air, and I might need to put that one on slow-mo, and yours, which refused to deflate because you blew it back up again. Now, I'll tell you, Barney, I do this in my classes with my students, but first I make sure that some of the semester has gone by and I establish an environment of trust and openness so that students are willing to do this. And I always check in with students afterward to make sure that in doing this, they don't feel upset because it's brought up something that is the sort of the skeletons in the closet, like it's brought up something that's really negative for them. So I always check in with my students when we're done. But what I typically do is we get into a big circle and they all do it. And we used to pop the balloons, and I don't do that anymore because popping isn't a good sound in a classroom, but we release the balloons all together, or one at a time. We'll go around in a circle, and there is just a huge weight and air of humor and fun and play that allows people to focus in a different kind of way than they did before, and to really start thinking about how they can release those blocks and barriers and those phrases that have come up over and over again in time that have stopped people from being creative.
Yeah, I think it's a great process, and there is something cathartic about letting go. I think the key also is not that those voices or those phrases aren't going to come back, but to not listen to them to the point that they prevent you. You also could listen to them and think, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Mm.
So that's another way to handle them, because I don't think this is the silencing of those negative things. It's just more of letting them go. And it's, as I found, a constant effort to go, you know what, get out of here.
So thanks so much for joining us today. We hope that you say bye-bye to your blocks and barriers and try this activity out at home.
And if you like this, give it a thumbs up and post anything you can with the hashtag #CreateTubeity. Thanks.
Bye-bye.